Yeah, they're in first place. They've won this division with 17 or out of 19 the last years before last season, so something like that. And they've had a stranglehold in this division for a long time.
Yeah. Sean McDermott, Buffalo, get back to where you once belonged. How you doing? It's KJ Late Night on WEEI 617-779-7937, along with my trusty sidekick producer, Justin Herr. How you do, sir?
I'm great, man. Great Thanksgiving. How about yourself?
Good. Tell Barrett back there, be quiet. I hear him. Chatting in the hallways. I'm kidding. But Bills, it's time to get back to where you once belonged. 75. Count them. 75 with my 10-year-old. That's 7 sets of 10 and half a set of 75 losses against the Patriots is the most against any other team in its franchise history. Get back to where you once belong, Buffalo Bills. 4. Count them, 4 blown leads in the Belichick era, the last in 2012. These Bill fans are anxious, like a college freshman with a hot chick and a slow jam tape. It's going to happen. I feel it. Not so fast, young man. If you act like you've been here before. Wait, you've not been here before? I mean, these Bills fans really believe that this is their time. In the Belichick era, the Bills have finished last 7 times, next to last 8 times, second 4 times, and finished first, and they can send Cam Newton a thank you card. Literally to a whole generation of people, the Bills absolutely suck. That's why I've said, just like Ric Flair, in order to be the man, you have to beat the man. This team has not beaten the Patriots over a consecutive period of time that says, hey, wait a minute. Are we seeing a shifting of the guard? No. Last year, the Patriots had pretty much a skeleton crew. Third shift. It was like the people who come in and clean the offices wherever you work if you're still at the office. You happen to be in the office like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. There's someone cleaning the office. You're like, this looks totally different than the people who are here during the day. That was the Patriots last year. Third shifters. I mean, the Bills are so bad, I got to tell you this true story. So when I lived in another city, I have this collection of football jerseys, all different teams, sometimes to antagonize, sometimes to kind of, tell a bit of a story. And one of the jerseys I have is an old school New York Giants Harry Carson jersey. 1, because my last name's Carson. 2, the guy's a spitting image of my father. So I'm wearing this jersey to church one day back about 15 years ago. This guy was like, well, how can you make fun of the Redskins at the time when you're wearing a Bills jersey? I said, a Bills jersey? The NFL doesn't make Bills jerseys. Until last year. What Bills? Richie Incognito? Is that the jersey you wore before last year? Calvin Cowherd is talking about, look, this Patriots team, the defense is playing well, and I'll get into the weather, but he mentions the weather is going to play a big factor Monday night.
New England's defense is this good, and the weather's only getting worse. So they're stifling good quarterbacks with reasonable fall weather. Add 12-mile-an-hour wind sideways in Foxborough. And add a bye if they win their division. Like, this defense is good now, and the weather is turning. So the Buffaloes and the Kansas Cities, which, by the way, are not reliant on the big play, but are definitely built to provide it, you may just not have the opportunity to do that. So I think New England's not only the best AFC team now, I think they're built for the next 6 to 8 weeks of, like, winter football.
Duh. Buffalo, get back to where you once belonged. Habitual losers. Okay, last year the Bills got kissed at the prom. After all those years looking like the kid in the end scene of Last American Virgin, listening to James Ingram's Just Once, finding out that the girl never really wanted to give up the champion. Josh Allen better get used to using this word that starts with N and ends with R. Should I go there, Justin?
Let's hear it.
Never, never again will the Bills sniff the top of the AFC East with an already developed Mac Jones. You're looking at being down 2 games after Monday night. 26-mile-an-hour wind. Justin, were you here like 3 weeks ago when I told people, when I pulled out my Benjamin Banneker almanac and said that it will be raining and cold on December 4th, 5th, and the 6th in Buffalo? Did I not say that?
You were time traveling.
Look.
Unless you got one of those, unless you pay for the weather app. Because you get some great...
I pay for nothing.
There you go.
I pay for nothing. I get that in return. I get paid nothing. So you pay for nothing, get nothing, right? But I told you this was what was going to happen. The Bills lost the AFC East lead on their day off for the most part. Craig, how you get fired on your day off? All the things that we talked about with the Bills and how they were just feeling themselves and putting the billboard in front of Foxborough as the best fans in the NFL. And I joked, I said, you guys are, I mean, in good things, they're not cheap. Like with the hospital they donated in Josh Allen's grandmother's name and Tre'Davious White's charity in New Orleans, they just raised $100,000. That's very cool. You know, when you get away from sports and part of the entertainment part that I do, that's very cool. But very dumb to poke the bear and put your billboard in front of Foxborough when you haven't really won anything yet. Never. Try that word on, Josh Allen. Never. It starts with N, ends with R. Or you can do it with the A. Never. That was close there, wasn't it, Justin? Never. Faster than you could say mafia, this Bills love affair is over. They're nervous. Meanwhile, the Pats just see it as another day at the office because at the end of the day, as Devin McCourty's getting ready to tell you, the job isn't finished.
And Hunter called this a defining game looking at Monday, obviously division, but you guys are both in the playoff picture regardless of being in the AFC East together. Do you see that similarly for Monday?
We want to play well, but I don't think it's it's not going to be the end of the season if we win or lose. So I don't know, and if we win, I don't think we wrap up the division or the conference. So I don't know. It's a big game, though.
It's a big game, but Devin's pretty much saying the goal is to beat you up and not really jump up and down about it. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Bills are going crazy. They had Wiggy on in their show in Buffalo earlier today. I mean, they're just, this is all they think about. It's Christmas Day, but it's the end of Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie, by the way. So is Trading Places. Trading Places is a Christmas movie as well. People just don't realize that. Yeah, Bills, get back to where you once and have always belonged. You heard earlier talking about the defense and how the Patriots just kind of force you into not doing what you do best. And right now, that's the quarterback rushing the ball. Look, Josh Allen is second on the team in rushing. He even recently said, look, do I want to run the ball all the time? Well, no, but since I'm young enough to do it, I might as well do it now. Boy, talk about giving up. It's already happening. Their lead rusher, Devin Singletary, has rushed for 459 yards and is 28th in the league. Did I mention that it's supposed to be 26-mile-an-hour winds with heavy rain and possible sleet and hail, sleet and snow mix Monday night on national television? I mean, if I'm the Bills, I wouldn't be worried about the weather because, after all, this is your weather, right? Well, neither is Bill Belichick. Here he is.
Consider weather considerations in, talking to the players or assessing how the game might be played. I guess, is it a day before, 2 days? Not even, once you get to the stadium, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, usually, talk about it once we know for sure when it is, which a lot of times that's when we get to the stadium. It's hard to really hang your hat on a lot of predictions here, so we'll go with the known information. understanding what it obviously could be. We're not expecting, overheating and fans on the sideline.
Bill's so damn cool. You should probably get a collection of these themes that have happened here on Late Night when I've been here. Don't mess with Bill. That's the kind of the season we're in right now. Bills get back. Oh, that's a great 8 hours. Look, I know people are complaining about watching that Disney Plus Beatles thing. If you're not into the Beatles and you were never in a band, you would not understand watching 8.5 hours of band footage of rehearsal. I'm one of those weird people like that. Just call me weird. But the Bills get back. Your quarterback's your second leading rusher, 28th in the league. Tony Pollard for the Cowboys was amazing last night, considering. But Devin Singleton is behind him, and Tony Pollard is the second string for the Cowboys. Heavy rains and winds during the day in Buffalo Monday. Then heavy winds at game time, around 25 miles per hour, temps in the mid-20s. Buffalo, you're just going to have to come to Jesus right now and realize that the Lord Almighty is a New England Patriots fan.
A little windy out here today.
I'm just saying. Look, I've made comments, and so I got a little blowback saying that the only thing worthwhile from Buffalo was Rick James, but holy smokes and Jesus, it's about to get cold-blooded on the Buffalo Bills Monday night. 617-779-7937 or the text line 37937. It's KJ Late Night here on WEEI, part of the WEEI Sports Radio Network. Coming up at 10:45, the Squid Games. And this may be the most dangerous Squid Game 5-leg parlay at 10:45, Justin, that pays over $10 million.
And you were pretty close on one of those. What was it, the Colts and Bills game?
The Colts and Bills, because I said the Colts would score a bunch of points. The Bills would score almost nothing. I didn't care that the game was at home. It was the Buffalo Bills. There was snow on my TV screen. I was watching it. It didn't stop Indy from rushing for 246 yards in that one game.
And there was some great underdog value in that one.
Bro, it was like $1,000 bet would have won you $470,000. And you know how I missed it? Because the Bills lost by more than 12 points. This is what I'm talking about. This is a team, the Bills, that reads its own press clippings. Think about it. O.J. Simpson has been an invited guest at Buffalo Bills games, and they've done it in public. And how, me personally, hey, O.J.'s a free man. He served his time. I know you may have some certain feelings, but hey, does the Mafia mean that much to you that really, that might really, really be part of your history story? Whew. The Bills' offense is going to end up doing more damage to themselves with no running game. Josh Allen, over the last 5 to 6 weeks, clearly will give you 2 interceptions or turnovers a game. What happens when you add in win and you factor in and you only run to one side and throw? I mean, has the whole world not seen that this guy does not, that the guy will bootleg right and look for the guy way downfield? You're going to chuck that ball 30 yards in the air in that wind? Boy, you're about to put J.C. Jackson on both sides of the field in the all-pro game. Starting cornerback on the left side, J.C. Jackson, and on the right side, J.C. Jackson. Dude's going to have about as many interceptions as Strahan at sacks to break the record at this point. All right, 617-779-7937. Bill and Malden, go ahead. You're on WEEI Late Night.
I love this Bills talk. You know, they're one and done as AFC East champs. The Patriots are going to come back and slap them down like they always do. Can't wait for Monday night.
Look, Bill, they were last 7 times. This is just in the Belichick era. 7 times they were last. Next to last 8 times. Now, remember, at one point, a team was taken out of the division to be moved, right? So they finished second 4 times, and the first time they finished in first, Cam Newton not only gave them the game ball when he dropped it on the carpet, but he probably is sending them a thank you card right now. Dear Josh Allen, here's my thank you. Where's my thank you card for last year?
can you imagine? I mean, I'm not going to get into Cam Newton, but yeah, they would have won that game if that moron didn't drop the ball.
Well,
but,
that's how big this story isn't about the Bills. Like, you're literally talking about a team that has never won its division in the history of the coach for the New England Patriots in the division. Never.
And, I always go back because, I mean, I love I got a sign for every game. I mean, they're still always going to be known as 0-4 Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, it's that is tattooed on their heads.
Do you realize that the Bills
Super Bowls?
This is how bad the Bills are. The Bills are the only reason why Cowboys fans have anything to hold on to. Think about it. If the Bills don't lose 2 more Super Bowls in a row, you're talking about Cowboys fans not discussing any championships in 40-something years.
What about them? 1995 for the Cowboys.
And that was against the Bills. Thanks for the call. All right, Tom in Maine, go ahead. You're on WEEI. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Tom. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I was just wanted to make a comment. I think this game is crucial for the Bills. I mean, it's almost as important as when Atlanta, we've come back and beat Atlanta in the Super Bowl. That franchise hasn't been the same since.
This game gets Scott Norwood. The Bills have these, they call these markers, right? Like these different markers that happen in your life. The first time you kissed a girl, the first car that you bought with your own money, the day you get married. Yeah. For the Bills, it's like Scott Norwood and then like 3 more losses in the Super Bowl. Then the Music City disaster in Nashville with the throwback from Derek Mason that they lose that playoff game. And then Monday night. This is literally a marker in their like on their DNA, and you're falling apart going into the game. Your quarterback is good for 2 turnovers, and then the Lord Almighty says, "What's going on? I got some weather I'm bringing from New England to Buffalo to the mistake on the lake."
Yeah, and then listening all day, man. The Bills fans they're crazy. I mean, they're like you said. The Wiggs was talking to them. I mean, it's like they believe in their team. They believe in Josh Allen. And if we go in there and blow them out, man, that franchise might go spinning out of control. I mean, they're on the fringe anyways, you know?
They are the college freshman who suddenly has a hot girl standing in the room and they made a slow jam tape. That's how desperate they are right now. Tom, thanks for the call.
That's all I got, man. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, man, thanks, everyone. See, Friday night, there's so many other things you could be doing on Friday night, and I appreciate you being here. KJ Late Night here on WEEI, 617-779-7937. Hey, on the text line, drop me a score that you think, like an honest score, because we'll get to that towards the end of the night. But yeah, can you see, and this is how it's going to play out, is because Josh Allen wants to throw the ball so much and the weather's not going to allow for that, you're going to put your defense back on the field quicker than they need to be. So suddenly this defense that's looked like everything against, the Jets and Miami twice and Houston, it's going to be frustrating. And literally, you now have a Patriots team in front of you that can play the game they need to in this type of weather. So all the jokes about dink and dunk, guess what comes in handy in this game? Or, hey, we need a bunch of guys downfield. Isn't it great that Jonnu Smith is starting to pick back up, is reignited, and Hunter Henry has been somewhat consistent right there? Now, all that talk about things in the middle of the field, the Patriots have a great advantage. Who cares if a guy can run down 30 yards down the field? The wind's going to knock the ball down. Here's Ian Rappaport on Greg and Keith earlier saying the Bills need this game badly.
Ian, who has more stakes in this game this week or on Monday night between New England and Buffalo? Buffalo is trying to show that they're worthy of going back to an AFC title game. The Patriots are building something. Who is this game bigger for?
Buffalo. Definitely Buffalo. To me, the Patriots going into this year, my own kind of personal expectations or personal thoughts, and then when I talk to people around the league, a lot of people, because the Patriots, of course, are a big topic, so, they would sort of think that I was on the right track. I think they would be a team that would push for a wild card. That's where the Patriots should be. Year one of a, rookie quarterback who has been good, all new players probably should push for a wild card. Anything else is just, gravy, as they say. The Bills should not be in this position. They should be the team beating the Patriots. They should be the team winning the division. If the Patriots lose tonight, I think everyone would be like, okay, it was a great run, like got back in the mix, we'll see what happens. If the Bills lose tonight, it will be what's wrong with the Bills, where they just pretenders. Like, that's what the conversation will be about. To me, at home, Bills got to win this game.
Yeah, like the Chappelle bit where Rick James from Buffalo just comes in and just takes a buffalo right on the couch. That's about to happen Monday. And boy, would some egos be crushed. All right, still to come here on Late Night. We'll hear more from Bill Belichick, plus AB, Antonio Brown suspended. People are kind of saying, well, what about Aaron Rodgers? I'll kind of iron that out as well. Plus the Squid Games at 10:45. You might have to take a little trip to AC, but I've got a 5-leg parlay that pays over $10 million. That's at 10:45 here on EEI Late Night. It's time to trend. Go ahead, Justin.
The Greg Hill Show, morning 6 to 10. Now here's what's trending on WEEI.
All right, trending now on WEEI and WEEI.com. The Celtics are in Utah right now. They're taking on the Utah Jazz. Jaylen Brown is out tonight due to hamstring tightness.